Hi Groupsters, Andy from the Car Boutique. It is July 2022. Now this is not a paid promotion. We bought all these full retail price. The manufacturer doesn't know we're doing the review, so we are independent and unbiased with no agenda as always. Okay, what are we looking at today? Returning to this brand, Alien Magic. We've done reviews on a lot of their accessories. We've done their spray bottles, their snow foam cannon, their bucket dollies, and lots of their products. So this time we're returning to that brand. So today we're going to be looking at the Alien Magic sprayer and also the Alien Magic foamer. But before we dig in, you know what's coming. Let's see the flags. Okay folks, the first one we're going to look at is the Alien Magic sprayer. Okay, we'll do a talky bit, then we're going to go and have a play, and we'll do the same for the foamer. Now the first thing I will say is the build quality is superb. It is nice thick plastic. It's got a nice wide base, so it's nice and stable when it's full. So obviously as you increase the volume of the content, it raises that sort of center of gravity. The wide base makes sure it's nice and stable. Now the actual capacity is 1.5 litres, so that will be a blend between whatever chemical you're using, for example a citrus pre-wash, and your water, up to 1.5 litres. This pumps up to 3 bar, so it's plenty of pressure, and the good thing is as you're pumping up, when you get to that 3 bar capacity, it's got an internal sort of safety release valve, and you'll hear the air escape. That's when you know you've pumped it up to full. And I recommend you pumping it up to full because it'll last longer before you have to start pumping, and you'll get the maximum sort of performance. It's designed to sort of operate at that peak level. Now the actual chemical resistance, now it's got an EPDM seal. Now a lot of these sprays you either get an EPDM seal or a Viton seal. The chosen sort of route Alien Magic have taken is the EPDM seal. Now the good thing is the instructions actually give you a comparison chart between what an EPDM seal and a Viton seal is, and it'll grade what chemical you're using in terms of sort of limited, excellent, or not recommended. All right. Now the instructions sort of quote pH 6. Okay, so that's dipping into the acidic. So that's suggesting to me it's not sort of recommended for highly acidic things like wheel cleaners and your acidic wheel cleaners, etc. But it doesn't make a reference to the sort of pH stuff. So I've been using this with citrus pre-washes and that kind of stuff, APCs, and had no problems whatsoever. I will give some top tips for maintenance that a lot of people forget about, that it's going to extend the duration of your sprayer. Okay. Now it's got, which we always like, a window, so you can clearly, and it's a useful window as to how much liquid you've got left in here. Okay, it's got an adjustable nozzle, and it comes with an instruction booklet as well. Now it is quite simple to use. I mean, I've already filled this up for demonstration purposes. Okay, so it has got an adjustable nozzle, so you can go sort of like a pencil beam into sort of a wider spray pattern. I'll show you that shortly. It's nice and easy. It's robust. That's what I like. Drew me to this. I don't mind spending £25 if something's going to last. All right, and there are cheaper ones out there that are a lot flimsier. All right. Now, I know you can get the handheld ones where you walk around with your hose, but I think this is probably as big as you probably want for a handheld version like this, because anything more, it's getting a bit weighty. And you do want to be able to control this and your wheel arches and all that kind of stuff. So I sort of think this size, 1.5 litre capacity or round about that, is where you should be going if you're going to go for this style of product. Okay, now the pump is nice and easy. It doesn't feel flimsy. It's got a nice ergonomic sort of handle, so you can really get into it. All right, and it's got a valve there, and I'll go into that a bit more detail. Okay, essentially it's a safety release valve. All right, and I'll dip back into the use of that when we discuss the maintenance of this. Okay. Right then, okay, so that's a quick description. Trying to keep these videos as short as possible because everyone wants to see them in action, so we're going to go and have a play. Okay, we're going to have a play with the sprayer, all right? So that's me fully pumped up, all right? Now, if you do go and release the trigger and nothing comes up, just hit the pressure release switch, okay, and it will start coming out. Now, you can quite clearly see the adjustment of the nozzle. I can go from a fine beam, okay, to a nice big spray, all right? And you just adjust that to your needs. Now, what I look for on these is I've used some of these before and I'm constantly pumping up. So I've pumped that up fully. I'm going to show you how much of a car you can actually do with sort of one sort of a full charge. Still going. So that's the whole car done, and it's still going. So that 1.5 litre capacity is great. This is the second time I've done this car and we've still got lots left and there's still pressure in it. Okay, so charge it up fully, you'll be able to do your pre-wash using citrus pre-wash if you're using APC and all that kind of stuff with one charge. So really, really, really good. Okay, we're now going to look at the Alien Magic FOAMER. Okay, so essentially the bottle is exactly the same. Okay, it's got all the pressure release valves, the EPDM seal, the really, really nice solid trigger. Essentially the difference is the business end, what it's doing with the product to produce the foam. Okay, now just like they've sort of tried to emulate a snow foam cannon, albeit on a smaller scale. So with a snow foam cannon, you can adjust your sort of mixture by the sort of a concentration of snow foam liquid to water, but you've also got the adjustment on the top. You can do exactly the same with this. Okay, so you can adjust your blend to your preferred choice of foam to give you that sort of loiter rate that you're after, but it also gives you the facilities, and it all comes in the actual pack, to adjust the sort of nozzles in the end. And it's nice and simple. All you do is you unscrew the end and you'll see some foam in there. Now, depending on which nozzle, okay, or which spacer you use, you just remove 1 or 2 or 3 of the bits of foam and put the relevant one in. It's all in the instructions, so it's super easy. The demonstration I'm going to be doing is as it comes from the shop, okay, but you can adjust it, all right? So that is it, all right? Now, once again, it's got that low level. Now, I'm using a 1 to 10 snow foam mix, okay? And, you know, you can be using snow foam for this. Would you use this to snow foam your whole car? You could, okay, but it's really, in my opinion, for sort of smaller areas, applying a foaming wheel cleaner, and that's a demonstration you're going to see us doing. But you could, if you're limited, if you haven't got a mains water supply and you haven't got a snow foam cannon, you could do this, but it's not going to be as effective and it's going to take a bit longer. You're probably going to have to be pumping up quite a lot. Okay, so you've all seen the videos of people using snow foam or foaming wheel and tyre cleaners. That's where I see this fits in. This is really good for getting in under your wheel arches. All right, so it does have a place in the detailing arsenal. Okay, so that's it. Let's go and have a play. Okay, so the main application for using a foamer in a smaller container like this is really to do wheel arches and your alloy wheels with a foaming wheel cleaner, for example. It could be used for doing your whole car, but it's going to take a lot longer because this does not have the longevity of the sprayer, okay, because it expels, because it's producing that foam, the air comes out quickly, okay. So in terms of the effect on alloy wheels, it's absolutely perfect. Okay, nice thick foam, and like you say, you can adjust, okay, the sort of foam texture by changing the nozzles. I'm just going to reposition the camera and show you one limitation in terms of doing your whole car. You're going to be a busy boy. Okay, so if you are going to be using this to do your own car, it's going to take you a bit of time. What I would be suggesting is you're going quite quickly with the foam. Okay, so that's still going. But it's sort of dying there, so you can see you're going to be pumping to do your whole car. I wouldn't suggest that this is replacing snow foam in your car using a snow foam cannon, okay, but it's going to give you some kind of pre-wash if you are limited to using this. This really is for doing smaller areas like wheel arches now or wheels, okay, where there is more than enough in one sort of sort of pump session to do that kind of work. Okay, so yeah, can be done to do your whole car, but I'd suggest you probably wouldn't want to. Okay, but in terms of this, spot on. Nice thick foam, change the nozzles, change the consistency, job done. Or another way you could do it, you could buy two, okay, and do it like this. Yes, it's showing off, but it's fun. Okay, Groupsters, summary time. Really enjoyed that. Love playing with this kind of stuff. Love doing accessories. Okay, so sort of verdict on the Alien Magic sprayer and the foamer. Okay, first of all, the sprayer, really, really good. I've been using this for 2 or 3 months, and it is at the moment my chosen sprayer. I've used a lot of others, okay, but I come back to this. Reason is I like the adjustable nozzle, and I like the fact you can get around a full car and do your citrus pre-wash. I like the fact you can do the nozzle, so if I'm doing sort of door jams and things like that, okay, I can adjust the nozzle to get in there, and it gives you long enough, like I say, to do a whole car, so it's super convenient. It's not particularly labor intensive. You're not doing all this kind of stuff every minute or so. Okay, so really, really good. Robust design, and this one has been going for 2 or 3 months, no problems at all, okay. The foamer, yeah, only limitation with the foamer is please do not think that you can replace a foam cannon, all right? In my opinion, this gives, with one sort of pumping up to the max, enough to comprehensively do one alloy wheel and wheel arch. Then it starts to dissipate off again, all right? Okay, so that is what I use this for. But that's fine because you can do your wheel, you're gonna spend 5 or 10 minutes doing it, pump it up, go on to your next wheel and all that kind of stuff. You can do your car, but you're gonna be pumping it up, in my opinion, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 6 times, unless you shoot from the hip, okay, like a cowboy and get 2 and half that time, all right, but it is good. Okay, the only additional observation I found with this, in the spirit of open honesty, right, just be careful when you're washing it, okay, that this cable, okay, has a tendency to fall out. It's just a sort of push fit, all right? So just be careful when you're washing it, etc., pouring all your liquid out, that doesn't fall out on the ground. You know, a bayonet fitting would be better, but I've noticed that on quite a lot of other designs as well, so it's just an observation. Okay, so really, really good. Now, I mentioned maintenance at the start, a couple of sort of top tips for both of these. If you're planning to leave this for a long time, I suggest you don't do it. Okay, so if you've got a chemical in here, maybe a high alkaline, some products, sort of 10, 11, 12, 13, and you're not intending to use it for a prolonged period of time, I wouldn't suggest leaving it in here, all right? My personal way of doing it is I put enough product in to do the job, and after every single use, when I've finished, okay, I will empty it out, I will fill it with water, I will pressurize it, and basically inject water through the mechanism, exactly the same as a snow foam cannon, because especially the foamer, which has the sponges in, if the product solidifies, you can have problems, all right? So whether you use the sprayer or the foamer, my top tip is to purge it. Clean it, okay? Make sure the actual container is clean, fill it with water and purge it fully. To get water, clean out all that product to basically sort of sanitize the mechanism. That will give you a lot more use out of it. Other thing I would do is, if you pressurize this, always release the pressure using the pressure release. Okay, it just takes the stress off the mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. If you do that, you should have good longevity with these products. So there you go. Another great sort of couple of products, accessories from Alien Magic. If you haven't already done so, go back and look at our bucket and dolly review. The Battle of the Snow Foam Cannons, we reviewed the Alien Magic Snow Foam Cannon as well, and did really, really well. And like I said, I love these accessories. That's why I waited for these. I did look at some others, but I waited for these to be released. I'm not disappointed. I will be using the sprayer all the time, and if I am requiring a foaming action on alloy wheel cleaners, I will be using this, but I will not be using this as a replacement for snow foam cannon because it's too labor intensive. But it does its job, for that specific job of alloy wheels, wheel arches, intricate areas, doing engine bays. If you're foaming your engine bay, easily enough on one sort of pump application to do your engine bay. So it is limited in terms of how long you get the foaming action, but for specific tasks that I've just mentioned, really, really good. Okay, so there you go, Alien Magic Sprayer and Foamer. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to take advantage of the Car Boutiques discount code, you have to join the Facebook page. Ask to join, okay, and then you will be privy to our discount codes, and I highly encourage you to go and have a look at the Alien Magic website as well to look at the range of accessories. So good times, and I look forward to the next review with you.